It's time for another episode of Hops and Hedges, where we talk about beer, landscaping, and everything in between. Season 1 is proudly sponsored by ext.tech, helping you grow and revolutionize your landscaping business. Now crack open a cold one, and let's dig in. There you go. We are now officially recording. With me today, so excited to have you. I have Sean Donnelly from SD Stone out of Kitchener.
Hi, how are you?
I'm amazing.
Good.
Sorry, I was just choking on my own spit. Don't mind me. That was great. Nice to meet you. Great first impression.
Yeah, nice meeting you too.
You are a dry stone waller.
I am. I'm one of 2 master craftsmen in all of Canada.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah, you're just one of 2 in the whole country. It's fine.
Yep.
It's fine. So I'm so excited to pick your brain and just go through a little bit of everything. But right off the top, how, were you so like a young child and was like, man, this building stone thing is so cool? Or how did you discover this? How did you get into this?
Well, after high school, I went to school for music, actually. I went to school for trumpet.
Nice.
And
I played baritone.
And then, oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I used to play in concert bands and marching bands where there was a baritone player. So,
okay.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. And then I just I lived in Toronto and played in bands and worked in kitchens a lot to make ends meet.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually that lifestyle gets to be a bit much. And,
Mm-hmm.
As you get older, you want to settle down and, that sort of thing. So I was looking for something creative to do as a career change. And my little brother told me actually about this guy, John, who moved to the end of my parents' street, who started putting up these walls where you don't use mortar and you just start stacking them. I was like, oh, that's very cool. So I started looking it up and came across artists like Dan Snow out of Vermont and Andy Goldsworthy in England.
I am aware of Andy Goldsworthy. Yeah.
Yeah. So the creative side of dry stone, I was like, oh, this is amazing. So I went and knocked on John's door when I went and visit my parents in Port Hope, and went and knocked on John's door and asked him if he wanted to go grab a beer and have lunch. It was on me. So he took me up on it and we talked about walls. And then I ended up taking some courses through him. And then I met Norman Haddo, who is a master craftsman in Scotland. And he was over teaching at a festival, and I took his course. And then in conversation with Norman during the course, I told him that I wanted to travel to Scotland, and he invited me to come work with him. So when I decided to go and go over there and travel and work, I contacted him, and he just so happened to be working at Balmoral Castle for the Queen.
Oh my gosh.
So my very first job really of dry stone walling was repairing a 350-year-old corner at Balmoral Castle. So I was pretty wild. And then, and then during that time with Norman, he introduced me to the Dry Stone Walling Association of Great Britain. And that's the organization that I'm certified through. And so I just started my path from there. So, yeah.
Wow. What are the chances that this guy, John, moved down the street and your brother was even aware what he was doing?
Yeah. Yeah. And how it would fit with me. Because my family business was plumbing.
Okay.
My uncle had a plumbing business and was looking for somebody to help take it over. And my mom actually mentioned it to me, but I didn't want to get into waiting around in people's septic tanks and stuff like that.
Yeah, it doesn't really appeal to me either.
No. And then as a kid, I worked on a farm. My dad had a friend who was a farmer, and I worked on a farm in the summer sometimes. And just being outside in that lifestyle was pretty amazing to me. So that, just the idea of being outside and working with my hands was pretty appealing.
Holy smokes. Just so many kind of things fall in place, in order to make it happen. Holy
It's amazing
smokes.
how the universe works sometimes, right? So.
Oh yeah. And even at the time, we don't realize that things are falling into place, right? It all just seems crazy and irregular, or and it's not until later that you look back and it's like, all those things actually had to happen in order for me to be here.
Yeah.
I often I think of the phrase, sometimes when you feel like your life is falling apart, it's just the pieces falling into place.
Yeah. There
right?
you go.
It's a little bit
I
of
like
when you're in it, it doesn't feel like it's falling into place.
No.
So holy smoke. So you've been doing this for 15 years.
Yeah, so I've been in business for 15 years. I
Okay,
took courses over a few years before that. So
gotcha. And so if
yeah.
somebody, um, regardless of age, so whether or not they're in high school or younger or even older, and they wanted to get into dry stonewalling, like how
Yeah.
does somebody even, like, what would be your recommendation to
Oh,
somebody who
well,
wants to get in?
yeah, there's Dry Stone Canada, which is Canada's national not-for-profit group, and I'm
Dry
actually a
Stone
board
Canada.
member.
Okay.
And yeah, drystonecanada.com. And we offer courses all throughout the year in different
Awesome.
locations. Right now, like we have a location in Halifax that we've been at it for a couple of years. And I think there's one in Quebec. And then there's like, just all over Ontario. But we're trying to work on expanding into other provinces as well. But there's a big concentration of walls and wallers in Ontario. So
Very cool. And I think I actually, it's funny, it wasn't until I was going through your Instagram just before this interview, because I've been following you for I don't know how long now on Instagram. I'm
okay.
like, man, what this guy does is so cool. But when I looked at some of your pictures, I think were you guys at Cuddy Gardens for with Fanshawe College?
Yeah. My friend Ken works. He teaches the dry stone section of the program, the landscape program there,
Okay.
and he does a few days with the school and the students. But then during that time, usually in June, it's the same weekend. I come and I join him.
Yeah.
He's actually a co-president of Dry Stone Canada, and we
Huh.
hold a course. We hold a course there every year. So
That is
yeah,
so cool. I
yeah, it's
actually
very
think
cool.
when I was looking at your pictures, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I was touring the gardens on a day that you were there. Like we were
Oh,
so
really? Wow.
close to just,
Nice.
and it wasn't until I saw that picture, I'm like, wait a second, those are the guys that I saw doing the
Yeah,
wall when I
very
was there.
cool. Yeah,
So if I could go back in time, I would have said hi. Just know that the
yeah.
thought is there now,
Yeah, perfect.
in
Yeah.
retrospect.
It's a great location, and the idea of what they have going on there with just doing like 40 feet of wall every year, or a little bit more with Kenny's course.
Yeah.
Um I think they're up in over 500 feet now of just continuous wall that's going along the property. So it's pretty neat.
Holy smokes. And what a
Yeah.
great opportunity for students to leave something, to
Yeah.
build something that's going to be there for
Yeah.
hundreds of years, possibly. Like,
Probably the biggest thing that got me into this was the legacy aspect of it for sure.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
even so, your first job was at a castle that like 350-year-old wall. Canada's not even that old,
No,
right?
it's
I
crazy.
often was faced with stuff like that, I guess, that history when I lived in India, because you would
Okay.
go somewhere, and I remember going through this front door of a house, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's about 580 or so years old." I'm like, "Your door?" Like, just mind
That's
blowing.
so
Just
nuts.
mind blowing. I'm like, this would be in a
Yeah.
museum in Canada.
Yeah.
Right? It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Um, so before we get into lots of other things, because I know we have so much I'm going to pick your brain about, but I'm wondering if you have a beverage with you, and what are you drinking?
Oh,
Okay, looks dark.
I got a
Looks
Guinness
dark. Guinness. Okay, because I
classic.
was gonna say you've got in your pre-questionnaire interview thing that I send out, any cold lager style beer. I'm like, that's
Yeah, I
pretty
know, different.
dark that's in
Yeah,
your
I know.
glass
I
there.
know. It was a spontaneous thing. I tend to drink Polish beers, to be honest
Yep.
with you, like Tiskia or Żywiec.
Okay.
But I was just up north with like my wife is from Poland, like she was born in Poland, but
Yep.
she's Polish, and we were just up north with her father, and there was a lot of Polish beer drank. So when I went to the grocery store, I picked something different
A
today.
little different. Today,
Yeah,
today's a good day for a Guinness,
it is. Yeah.
right? I've had I came across Guinness Blonde once, and I haven't been able to
Okay.
find it again. It was actually really nice.
Really? Okay. Nice.
And it was still like it had a really rich color, but I haven't been able to find it again. So,
Yeah. What are you drinking?
I am actually drinking Corona Zero. So this is
Whoa.
the non-alcoholic Corona.
Okay.
I
Did you put a
had,
lime in it?
do you know what I didn't? And I even have
Okay.
lime in my fridge, but I have been on the hunt for a non-alcoholic beer
Okay.
that I can actually say I enjoy.
Hmm.
Like usually I have a non-alcoholic beer and I'm like, well, I'll drink it if there's no real beer. right? It's one of those. But this
Yeah.
is actually quite delightful.
Okay,
So
nice.
cheers to you. I
Yeah,
have a
cheers.
non-alcoholic beer today, but that's because I'm
Yeah,
going to have an alcoholic beer after this.
yeah, thanks for the invite.
Yeah. Um, so you were saying that you were just up north, but
Yep.
also talking about your favorite place or outdoor location. You said anywhere near a large body of water. So is that where you
Yeah.
were at up north?
Yep, there was a lake right across the way, but then like there's just a ton of lakes because we were in a small little town called Gogama, which
Gokama.
is an hour south of Timmins. So
Okay.
yeah, so about 8 hours straight north from here.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, my wife and I took the kayaks out one day and we went up this beautiful river and we were greeted by a female bald eagle, which was pretty neat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. The quietness and stillness up there is just unbelievable. So,
Yeah,
yeah, it's nice to connect with nature that way, you know?
absolutely. Talk about a refresh of your
Yeah,
batteries, you know?
definitely.
I'm not sure if you follow Ed Hansen. So he's the current president at Landscape Ontario, but on his
Okay.
LinkedIn, he does this Monday Matters video thing. So every Monday morning, I think at 8 a.m., he posts a video. And it's just like a thought, something to keep in mind for the week. And he's often recording them at his cottage over the weekend, right? So you
Oh,
see
yeah,
him.
nice.
But his post just this week on Monday, he said something about plugging in his battery chainsaw and to recharge, and it says too warm to recharge.
Oh,
And he like when he saw that in his video, he's talking about how often when we're working and we're go, go, go,
yep.
right? And you being one of two dry stonewallers in Canada, I'm sure you're not busy at all,
Yeah, well, they're like
right?
as far as like, I'm one of two masters, but there's probably like 6 or 7 guys who
Oh,
do it full time. Yeah,
okay.
huge difference, I know.
Huge difference. Sorry, my bad, my mistake. Um, but how it really did kind of resonate with me that if you're too busy and you're too hot, then you can't recharge,
Yeah.
right? So then being in a canoe and just really unplugging, slowing down, being with nature, even just thinking about being in a canoe on that still water.
It's something
Oh,
else.
yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever heard
It's
of the forest bathing? Have you ever heard of that?
yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've actually got a
Same kind
book,
of thing.
Shinrin Yoku. It's a Japanese concept, forest
Perfect.
bathing
Yeah.
or the walking. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
There's something about it, you know, like if you're able to just shut off and like be able to just be in the moment and just observe nature around you. And it's just it does something for you, I think, you know. And I think
it
more people
does.
need to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, nature, living, and water, right? That's
Yeah.
where we come from. And there's something about getting out of our houses, getting out of our heads.
Yeah.
I've been doing research actually too about grounding or earthing. So when you take your
Oh,
shoes
yeah.
off and your bare feet are on the earth, you actually
Hmm.
recalibrate like your own magnetism.
Yeah.
Or
You can get sandals with copper that goes through the sole.
yeah,
So yeah, yeah, it's pretty neat.
grounding shoes, and they've got
Yeah.
grounding blankets now, and
Yeah. Wild.
so cool. Yeah, I was just thinking about the quietness of being in a canoe on quiet waters, except when I'm in it, I'm usually the one that breaks that silence because
Okay.
I find it very relaxing until something like scrapes the bottom of the canoe. You know, you
Oh
get
yeah.
a little too close to a rock
Yeah.
and I just squeal so high pitched because I'm like, oh my God, it's the sea monsters, right? Like something's gonna eat us,
Yeah.
even though it's just a rock. So whoever I'm with, I usually give them the heads up that it will be really relaxing as long as we don't, as long as nothing bumps into the boat. The
Yeah.
dark water thing. I get that from my
Yeah.
mom. Um, excuse me. So talking about your own home gardens, do you have
Hmm.
drywall installations in your own garden?
No, like I have like a
What?
little I have a pitched walkway. So like
Yep.
I did a walkway which, you know, I faced all the stone and it's like cobble, you know.
Yeah.
It's pretty decorative. And then I have some out front, I have like a really short wall. It's built vertical, so the stones are built vertical, so it's called wedge walling. So I have a little
Wedge
wedge wall
walling.
out front. And
Huh.
then I have like my garden beds are lined with a little bit of wedge walling, but I wouldn't I would say more of a curb, more of a decorative curb than
Okay.
yeah. I'm too busy building, and like the time to build at home, I'm usually building for somebody else. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And that is something I think a lot of us, landscape professionals or outdoor contractors and tradespeople is whatever we do, whatever our specialty is, you're not going to see that at our house. We're
No.
too busy.
Yeah, yeah,
We're
exactly.
too busy. The
Yeah.
time I have to garden is in February, and there's not much gardening happening in southwestern
Yeah.
Ontario in February.
I would like to do a
Um,
wall at my house. There's an area along the side, and I think I might do it. I just need to convince my wife that I can put a tent up for over the winter.
there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I'm just thinking, so wedge walling, if all the stones are vertical,
Yep.
I'm also wondering if that could be implemented or incorporated into the concept of crevice gardening. Have you
Yep.
seen
Yep.
images of
Yep. Very.
this?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That
So
it would
that's
work.
like the idea?
It no, well, it's different. Like wedge walling is like it's used a lot actually along in like retaining situations,
Okay.
especially along shorelines of oceans and stuff with like
Yep.
waves crashing against it like crazy. It's
Hmm.
extremely strong because like what's happening is like you have the mass and the weight of the wall holding itself together, but you also like when you wedge the stones in vertically like next to each other, you're creating this like dynamic force of like lateral pressure between all the
Huh.
stones. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. There's I think it was the University of Bath in the UK. There was a study on retaining walls, and they did this what was it called? A limited equilibrium assessment of dry stone retaining walls, which is like they built this box, like a three-sided box with an open face. And
Yep.
then on that open face, they build a retaining wall. And then they pack behind it material, and then they add pressure from above. And what happens is that the wall will start to bulge, and because like that's where the pressure is going. So they did like strict coursing, like brickwork, and then they did a random bond, and then they also did a vertical wall.
Hmm.
And then the horizontal coursing was the weakest because it has that horizontal plane, and it's a
Right.
shear plane, right? So any pressure from behind, there's a shear plane there.
Hmm.
So if you mix it with a random bond, so you're breaking the courses up a bit, it gives it a little bit more strength, but it in the end failed. But with the vertical, what happens is when there's pressure from behind, especially if there's a bit of an inside curve, it kind of creates like it gets tighter, right? So like the more
Okay.
pressure behind it, the more it's pressing against each other.
Hmm.
And what happened is that it maxed out the whole entire machine, and they had a hard time getting the stones out of the out of the box. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's very strong,
So
and
if you
it's
need
like
some
really
strength, vertical walling is the way to
yeah,
go.
vertical walling is
Wedge
like
walling.
on an outside curve, it's probably pretty weak,
Yep.
like especially in a retaining situation. But an inside curve, it almost acts like an arch lying down on its side.
Huh.
So all the pressures get diverted through and around the wall. It's pretty neat.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. And so, talking about your, sorry, my brain like sometimes goes too fast and then I can't speak. Ah,
That's
words.
okay. That's okay. Yeah. I tend to go on tangents sometimes, so it's
Yeah,
okay to keep me on track
perfect.
too.
Me too. Me too. Perfect. So your home gardens, though, you mentioned that they're very pollinator friendly, and you've
Yep.
got a veggie garden. So
Yep.
is that a you thing or your wife thing? The veggie garden
My
and
wife,
the
my
herbs and
like my wife really has taken care of the flower side of the pollinator garden. You know what I mean?
yep.
Like just drawing, because we have a lot of we have really big beautiful hydrangea this year, and that and then we'll attract, and then that will travel around to, I think it's called a Russian sage,
Hmm.
and then there's like some mints, and then there is I forget what it's called. It almost looks like a Jerusalem artichoke, but it's actually bigger.
Okay.
But goes to that, and then into the backyard. So it's like a bit of a pathway drawing
Hmm.
the pollinators into our backyard, and then with our veggies, we always plant flowers just to make sure
Nice.
that there's things are getting pollinated, and the cucumbers and what have you are fruiting. So
Yeah, I think you
yeah.
mentioned that garlic and cucumbers are your favorite plants.
Yeah. The garlic I'm super proud of. Like we've been I think this was year 6 of our own genetics
Oh,
that we've just
nice.
been keeping seed and replanting every year.
Yeah.
This year I also planted a few different other varieties just to kind of change it up a little bit. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
think my husband and I need to start growing our own garlic or buying
yeah,
shares in garlic.
yeah.
So
It's
one or
so
the
easy,
other. Yeah,
you know,
I've
just get
heard
it in the
we've got a
ground in
couple
the fall
friends.
and yeah.
Hmm. The problem is the sun. So we've got a full shade backyard, so that's not going
Hmm.
to happen.
No.
And out front right now, it is full shade because we have a spruce that's about 3.5 stories tall and it has canker.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's on its way out. So we need to cut it down. And once that's down, then our whole front, I'm going to go to town. I'm so
Nice.
excited. But we got to get this tree out of the way first. So,
Yeah.
mm. But yeah, I've not tried growing garlic, but I'm very excited to.
Yeah. We go through about 100 bulbs a year, so I tend to plant about 250.
Yeah,
So it just gives us enough for seed, give some away,
yeah,
and then keep us going until the next harvest. So
smart. I
yeah,
have
yeah.
no idea how much we go through, but that sounds about
Yeah.
right. There's like
Yeah. Over the
52
years,
weeks,
I just
two
started
bulbs a week.
counting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? It seems accurate.
Yeah.
Um, oh geez, what else good is? Oh, I was gonna ask you about cucumbers.
Yep.
Do you have any pets at home?
No, we don't. We've been talking about a dog, but we
Yeah.
don't have one. No.
We have a toy poodle who is obsessed with cucumber.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy. So we have 3 pet rats,
Yeah.
and cucumber is one of the best things for them because it keeps them hydrated.
Yep.
Well, our toy poodle started to see this, oh, these are treats for the rats, so I get treats too. And now anytime we unwrap a cucumber or start slicing a cucumber, he like just comes running because it's the funniest thing because he's about, I don't know, he's a toy poodle. He's like the size of my laptop.
Yeah.
And I think it was last year or 2 years ago, we gave him half of a cucumber wrapped up for Christmas morning.
Okay. It's
And
cute.
he's such an old man. Like he looks small and young because he's tiny, but he's old and lazy. So he took like a couple rips of the paper and he just looks at dad like, can you get this off so I can eat my cucumber, please? Like he was not having it. We unwrapped it and then he went to town. But
That's
yeah,
funny.
that was pretty funny. So what about houseplants? Are you a houseplant guy?
We don't have a lot of light and like we have a lot of shade but we do have some cactus. So we have like a Christmas cactus, we have an aloe.
Nice.
And then we have this tropical plant that I forget what it's called. I'm not very great. I'm not
I'm
super good
thinking
with
it's a
plants.
snake plant. If you've got low light, a snake plant would be perfect.
I don't think it might not, it might be. It flowers like every other year, it seems.
Maybe
And
not.
it's like a nice, beautiful orange flower, kind of trumpet looking. But it's
Hmm.
like big green leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Is the
sorry, I don't
flower
know.
upside down? Like, does it hang like a trumpet
Yeah, I
upside
think it
down?
does. I think it does. Yeah.
So it might be Dratura, which is the trumpet. There's
That.
actually like a trumpet, not trumpet vine, but
Oh no, 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 it's not that. No, no, yeah, that's usually white, right?
so there's a
And
white one and there's an orange one. So
oh,
not
oh
the
yeah.
vine. There's something called trumpet vine, but there's actually a plant. I have one outside. It didn't bloom for me this year.
Does it have
Um,
like big long leaves, green leaves?
yeah,
Okay, yeah, maybe then. Yeah,
might be that. We
yeah.
don't have much light inside either. That's why you can see my little grow op
Oh,
operation behind
nice.
me.
Yeah,
I forgot to turn the light off before we started recording, hence the halo that's
yeah.
around
I
me,
got one
but
too. See.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Shining down on us today.
Yeah.
Um, so something else on the questionnaire, I'm always interested to find out about hardscape material because
Yep.
I like a little bit of everything, right?
Yep.
I'm a designer that works with homeowners and contractors, and I don't really have any specific loyalty to one contractor because every
Hmm.
site is so different.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need something that's going to work and be uh, almost utilitarian. And
Hmm.
then sometimes you have a really special spot where you really need to complement either existing stonework or whichever. But you mentioned glacial till, and I have not
Yep.
heard that term before.
Oh, it's like fieldstone, like round, like glacial round. So like round fieldstone, right? Or like
Okay,
I guess even river rock would be considered a
glacial
till
till.
to a degree. But it's like what happens like when the glaciers were moving across the land, like whatever million years ago or whatever
Yeah.
during the ice age. It's like
It rounded everything
grinding.
nice.
It's grinding up everything underneath it as it's moving really slow, and like there's so
Yeah.
much weight pressing down. So they're just like tumbling, like rock tumbling, right?
Okay.
So it rounds everything off. And then
Hmm.
like so like in like farm fields, so like say like Orangeville area, Caledon area. I've clients out there. It's a lot of like sandstones and granites
I was gonna
that
say
are
we get a lot of granite
yeah,
here.
exactly. Like so, like granite fieldstone. When you think about granite fieldstone, right?
Yeah.
That's glacial till. So that's just leftovers from the
Okay.
glaciers moving across the land. And then like farmers, what they will do is that because it keeps coming up because it's in the soil, right?
Yeah.
And then like because of our frost and everything, the rocks just move up through the earth and come up.
Hmm.
The farmers would clear the fields, like take all the rocks so they can plant, and just usually do rows right around, or in some cases in some areas they'll do like these consumption walls, especially like around northern Ontario. I think it's Barry's Bay. There's a big series of consumption walls up there.
And what's a
And
consumption wall?
a consumption wall is like where you just like you have these two built faces on each side of the wall, but
Yeah.
the wall is like 6 to 8 feet thick, and it's
Okay.
just filled in the middle with the rubble, right? But it's
Okay.
still like a nice organized wall, right? Like
Yeah.
it still has a clean constructed face,
Hmm.
but a lot of the time in Ontario, especially like because they can't be bothered to build a wall, right? They're just too busy trying to farm. So
Yeah.
like they'll just take the stone and just throw it into a row, and it separates the field. It
Yep.
also creates habitat and helps animals travel and all that sort of thing, creates pathways for animals to get around fields and all that
Yep.
sort of thing. But uh yes, and then like in some areas there's like beautiful walls in Ontario like that where original settlers can't come and clear the fields, and they
Hmm.
also needed boundary walls for keeping livestock in or what have you. But
Right.
yeah.
Okay. So glacial till, I was thinking it's like I thought granite, limestone, glacial till like was a specific type of
Oh no,
stone.
yeah,
That's why I
yeah,
was like, I have not heard of this before, but now I get it. I'm also trying
yeah.
to wrap my brain around building a feature like this with rounded stone.
Yeah, well, roundstone actually is pretty strong, and it's really nice to lay. Like, because like what happens is when you put two round things next to each other, it creates like this crevice
Yep.
between the two stones, right? So you just try to find another stone that fits nice and strong in that
Hmm.
crevice. So like 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 it wants to sit strong, like
Yep.
right when you put your stone in there and you feel it and it just sits nicely. You're like, oh, perfect. So
Huh.
it's nice, and fieldstone looks beautiful. Like if it's not really hammered too much and stuff like that, but
Right.
you also give it a really nice tidy face and nice
Hmm.
lines. It can be quite stunning. Yeah, and a lot of
Hmm.
people don't realize that like there's a lot of people who have these farm properties that have all this stone that are in these rows along their fields, and they don't realize that there's a ton of value in that. You
Right.
know, yeah,
Hmm. If they have the time and the money or a
yeah.
contact, right? To
Yes,
call up and be like,
the
hey,
right
I've got
builder.
all these stones, just come and get them.
Yeah,
Right? It's
yeah.
like
Or make
Christmas.
me something, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Oh, I wish. Maybe one day. Maybe
Yeah.
one day. Here I know so I'm in London, and
Yep.
in Lambeth, Byron area, there's some dry lay wall stone that every time I drive by, I'm like, ooh, that is nice.
Oh yeah, nice.
Oh man, that's nice.
Yep.
So we've got about 10 minutes left. I still have a few more
Okay, yep.
questions for you. So your favorite piece of equipment?
Oh, my hammer.
Your hammer. I should have
Yeah.
guessed that. I should have just guessed that.
Yeah.
So has it been
Yeah.
with you for a long time?
My 3 pound craft hammer, that one I've had for, let me see here, almost 10 years. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Does she
then
have a
I
name?
have, no, I haven't
No.
named it. No.
Some
No,
people, I had to ask.
yeah, yeah. Some people know me for my brick hammer because I use a brick hammer a lot.
Yep.
But I do like my craft 3 pound, and I have a 12 pound slab splitter that's an antique that is like I love that hammer. Yeah,
Huh.
that's a pretty amazing hammer. Yeah.
I've
Doesn't take, go ahead. Sorry.
nope.
Oh yeah. I was just going to
This
say
is
like
your show, not mine.
yeah, yeah. With that, with that 12-pound slab splitter, it's pretty amazing what you can do with a hammer. It's so much faster than a saw. You know, you can get a big, huge plate of stone like 6 inches thick, and you can break it apart with that slab splitter with a little bit of elbow grease way faster than you can cut with a saw, which is pretty
Right.
nice. Yeah.
I was actually just going to say, like, I've not been on too many job sites where drywall stone is happening,
Yeah.
but where when I have seen it, I love that it's all hand tools.
Yeah.
Like primarily hand tool. I don't even think I've seen anybody do that with any kind of power equipment.
Yeah. No, no, we usually don't, you know,
Yeah.
because it's just like it's loud, it's noisy, there's a lot of dust, and really like you with the proper tools and the proper techniques, you should be
Yeah.
able to do it pretty quick, you know. And really like
Mhm.
with walling, you know, especially with rebuilding something, like you don't really even have to hammer. Like when I was over in England testing, I worked with a couple of guys over there on an old wall, and yeah, we didn't touch hammers all day. We just
Wow.
took it down and rebuilt it. Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Man, that inspires me to maybe take some of these courses because
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm a hand tool person. If I can use a hand tool, I'm going to use
Yeah.
that over power tools any day. Except a leaf blower. I definitely like the leaf blower over the rake.
Yeah.
You know, that's the one that I'm not giving up.
No.
What else did I? Oh, I wanted to ask you because you mentioned the Chalmers Arts Fellowship Award through the
Yeah.
Ontario Arts Council. So
Yep.
talk to me
Yeah.
about that.
That was a pretty exciting. You know, that was a pretty exciting project. That was in 2018, I think. I did it over the winter. Yeah, I got. I was awarded $50,000 to experiment with stone for a whole year. So yeah,
That's
yeah. So
awesome.
yeah, it was super cool. It was pretty great that they saw the value in my pitch and let me do it, you know, which has been great. It was such a great experience, and it just kind of like was a massive inspiration for me again, like reinvigorating a little bit, you
Yeah.
know, because like when I was first starting out building, I would just find stone piles all over the place, and then I would just start building. You know, I would just sneak away in the forest and, you know, find this old pile of something, and I'd just stack it up and try different shapes and experiment and play around, right? And
Yeah.
get, you know, and then like once you start working as a business and you're busy doing business stuff and you're dealing with clients and you're building walls and you're doing things for other people, you forget that, you know, like at least I was forgetting that I was getting into this a lot for my own purposes, right? Of
Right.
just satisfaction in life and enjoying what I do.
Hmm.
And yeah, and then they gave me a whole year of time to just to get one load of stone. I had one load of stone and I built 6 different features. So yeah.
That's awesome. And so you can
Yeah.
find them, are they in public places or?
No, no, they were experimental, so I just did them at
Okay.
my shop. Yeah, I have a
Gotcha. So they
workshop
built
that
up and then came down.
yep, yeah.
Oh, it breaks my heart a little bit. But you have lots of pictures, I
Yeah, yeah,
assume.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Good.
get lots of pictures. Yeah.
Excellent. I wonder how many of us entrepreneurs and business venturous people kind of forget certain things along the way.
Yeah,
About
it's
we
true.
get so caught up in it. We're so busy dealing with the admin and with taxes and
Yep,
finances and invoices that we forget, oh, there's actually like this all started with a passion, right?
yep,
So
that's right.
it's nice to have that little reminder. What else was I just scrolling down here? Do. So I know what I wanted to. So I'm actually going to share my screen. So
Okay.
for anybody who is actually watching, because with Spotify, you can actually, so you can listen to episodes, but you can actually watch too, which is really cool. I want to share this picture, which, okay. So for those who are listening and not looking at this, it is a picture of a computer desk that has a like perfectly spherical dry stone like side to the desk. So on one side of the desk, there's the two legs, and on the other side where the other two legs are, it's a massive drywall sphere. And Sean, you did confirm this is not an AI image. This is
No.
legitimately something you built.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is
I built that.
awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell me about
Thanks.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. So like during COVID, like when everybody was locked down, I was during the winter, I took the winter off. There was a project going on, but I took the winter off to help with my kids and the schooling, because they're both
Yeah.
I have a young family, and they had just getting around and just doing everything online with them. So I was just managing classroom stuff for
Hmm.
two kids during the day. And then at night, like I have this shop space, and I was like, I should do something at my shop, and I couldn't think of what to do and what to build. And then like my wife, she was at home working remotely. And I was like, oh, I wonder what if I was, being a dry stone waller, what would I do, if I had to work
Working
remotely
from
from
home.
working from home remotely from a home office, so that's what I came up with.
Like
Yeah.
this is so cool. This is
Yeah,
so
thanks.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if you were going to be making these, and selling them, I couldn't imagine what a desk like this would cost, but it's pretty
Yeah.
epic. And so does
Yeah.
this still exist in your house, or is this kind of a
No, no, no. It was at my
temporary?
shop. It was at my shop. It was a
Okay.
temporary thing. Like so I have these drywall panels that I made for
Yeah.
the arts grant that I had, just to close off some of like the old, like it's old, there's like an old tractor in my shop, and like there's stuff, around. So just to
Yeah.
close it in and just give it a white background. So I have these panels floating around. So I created this L-shaped thing, so it's a totally staged photo, right? And
It's
there was a
so
desk.
awesome.
Yeah, my landlord had a desk at the shop, so I just like used the desk, and I brought my own chair and the plant. Actually, hey, that's the plant from that I was talking about. But
Oh,
yeah, there,
okay.
yeah, but there you go. Yeah, so I was getting a lot of comments, people worried about the structural integrity of my
Of your
house.
house. Oh,
Yeah,
that's funny.
because of that stone ball, but and then I showed that picture. But yeah, so I
Like,
had my friend come in who's a photographer, and he took photos, and yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
imagine people wondering, it's like, how is that gonna not end up in your basement? Oh, I clicked on something I should have. But anyway, such cool stuff. For
Yeah,
anybody
thanks.
listening who's on Instagram, he is SD Stonework. Really check it out. It is the stuff that you do is just so neat and so inspiring. So I'm
Yeah,
glad that
thanks,
I
Heather.
stumbled across something. I'm not
Yeah.
sure when it was or how many years ago it was, but I found something, and I absolutely love seeing the different things that you do.
Yeah, great,
So
thanks.
and with that, that is actually going to wrap up our episode. So, Sean, thank you again so much for coming on the show
No
and
problem.
talking about what you do. And if there's one thing, I just know we're going to get cut off. Darn it. I'm going to have to ask you later. Next
Okay.
time on Hops and Hedges with Sean. Sean, thanks again so much.
Yeah, thanks, Heather.
Okay, cheers.
Yeah, bye.
That concludes this week's episode, hosted by me, Heather Gerard at My Landscape Artist. Now, before you go, here's some info about our sponsor, ext.tech. In today's fast-paced world, your landscaping business needs modern solutions to keep up with the change. That's where EXT comes in. EXT is revolutionizing the way you manage projects and streamlines your landscaping, snow removal, and construction operations. Instead of juggling 5 different software packages, endless spreadsheets, losing track of leads, and missing out on potential sales, you could be leveraging AI job routing, client management, and financial insights with a modern mobile app that employees love to use. With EXT's flat rate pricing, you'll never be caught off guard. If you're ready to revolutionize and grow your landscaping business, visit ext.tech today to learn more. And for additional savings, use the code HOPS10 at checkout, or just tell them that Heather sent you. See you next week for another episode of Hops and Hedges.